Hi. Hello, users. We're a little late. It's entirely my fault. I had weird house nonsense that I had to deal with, and so my frame is running low on energy. But I'm excited to be here. I am joined by I'm joined by my co-detective robotspacer. Oh wow, I can't speak. Robotspacer.
That's me.
Feel free to give whatever intro you want. We're both eating right now because I have not eaten at all today.
I'm waiting for my pizza to cool.
Yes. So, 6-7. I can't help that. Maybe when I get to another season, I'll make a new one.
Oh no.
No, it is absolutely meant to be connecting. That is actually even the source material that it's for. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to the Consulting Detective Network, and we are playing Lamplight City. None of my wrap-up notes got saved, so
Oops.
yes, on Secret Crush, I absolutely agree. I woke up relatively early for a Saturday and thought I was going to be able to get a thing done in a couple hours, and instead of it was over half a day. But where did we leave off? We made it through the child kidnapping. We solved that. We made it through the... Oh god, what was the third case? It was
Third case. Let me check my notes. The spontaneous combustion.
Oh,
how could we forget?
Right. In addition to that, we found out that getting drunk makes Bill shut up.
Yeah.
But every time we did it, we overdid it. Miles went way too far. To the point where Maddie has kicked him the fuck out. And so my number one goal this stream is to save their marriage. I don't know that we have any input into that whatsoever. 6-7 saying time to speedrun the destruction of your marriage.
Oh no.
No, I would prefer not to. Hey Kevin, welcome in. Oh, and I give On Secret Crush a shout out. And I will give robotspacer a shout out now that I have a CDN command in here.
Oh, thank you.
So yes, we ended up at our confidant. I mean, we ended up at the not Katie, right?
Oh, right.
Basically, the lady that still works at the police station. This is the problem.
What the hell's her name?
This is the problem with doing this only once a week.
Constance.
Yes, Connie. Right. And she was also drunk, and I was very worried that we were about to make some bad mistakes, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We did not, at least as far as we know. We are.
Secret Crush.
You're not wrong. Miles is being a stubborn ass. Secret Crush is saying, "I wish you luck because I think the main character is determined to ruin it." And yes, Miles, like at this point. With what we know about the world, he probably could just tell Maddie that he's still hearing Bill's voice and wouldn't immediately get assumed that he's crazy.
You keep saying Maddie. It's Addie, right?
Oh, you're right. You're
okay.
right.
Just making sure.
Yes. Adeline. Our multifaceted and extremely multi-talented wife. Who has been instrumental in helping us move forward in every single case so far, so this is going to be real weird. We left off 1 week after we got kicked out of the house, and 2 weeks? 1 week. Somewhere there. And still have not gone back and talked to her. Basically, she knew something was still going on. We lied to her and said we were going to stay in rather than go to our her friends that wanted to meet us. And then went out and got drunk again. And really drunk. Not blackout drunk, still really drunk. And so she's like, you either need to tell me what's going on or you need to go. And we did not tell her. And it sucked. All that said, let me get into the game. Let me reshare the game for robotspacer. And then we'll get back to it. Alright. Let's switch scenes here. Oh, also, we ran into the save limit.
All right. Hopefully we're doing okay on that. So we started case number 4, and I have some notes, but I don't really understand them or remember what information we were given. My notes say Emily Morgan, brother. I can't read that. And then it says clothes he was wearing weren't his. So that's all I know.
Right. That's good because I don't remember a damn thing about this case. It was like late at night, his sister showed up and said like, "Hey, Constance told us to come talk to you because my brother was murdered and it was real weird." What happened with the spontaneous human combustion? A painter tried to set up a lady to die through burning in her sleep so that he could inherit her money.
It was rags soaked in linseed oil.
Yes.
Just as Unsecret Crush predicted.
You're not wrong, yeah. She called it pretty early on. Puzzlex, yes, I'm having a blast with this game. I'm loving my time with it so far. Alright, let's go poke around. Also, as I said, I'm going to be eating, so if you see me going... It's because I'm chewing.
I will also be eating.
Yes.
I think my pizza's probably cool now.
What, the Silent Raven? I would like to go visit our wife.
All right, Mr. Chavez. The cake and muffins come to a total of 3 shillings, 10 coppers.
There you are, Mrs. Morgan. And thank you again. Barbara is going to love
like,
this.
$3?
My pleasure. Enjoy.
I want a $3 cake and muffins.
Pardon me, sir.
There has not...
We'll enjoy them, the cow. Ah, Mr. Fordham.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Morgan.
There has not been, like, an incidental NPC... Oh, that's not true. There was at the coffee shop.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
This is not what I expected the close-up to look like. I thought she was substantially older than she looks. Also, she
that's the... That first name is the name in my notes. I think I did not write it correctly. Ronan Lespay.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Ronan was the best brother anyone could have asked for. He took care of me after our parents died. Carriage accident. I was only 9 and he was 13. Ronan went out and found work and managed to support the both of us. He was just a child himself, but he kept us out of the gutter. Or worse, the workhouse.
How did you hear of his death?
Ronan comes by to visit me every day after he finishes work. When he didn't come for 2 days in a row, I got worried. I went to his apartment, but he wasn't there. So I made a report to the police. Yesterday, they contacted me and asked me to come to the mortuary.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss, Mrs. Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham. Please, find whoever did this to him. Ronan deserved so much better.
You know, I didn't check this. Can you say something, robotspacer?
Something.
Okay, great. I was worried that my Discord input had got reset again and people had not heard you the entire time, but we're good.
Oh.
What do you know about your brother's murder?
Only what the police told me. He was shot at close range outside that pub in the Chum. Nothing was missing, and his wallet had money in it, so they said it wasn't a robbery. I didn't recognize the clothes he was wearing. I had never seen them before, and they were far too big for him. I still can't believe he's gone. He was the only family I had left.
Dr. Edwards at the mortuary might be able to give us some more detailed information. The only thing we'll get out of this one is more tears.
Wait. Okay, I was like, no, did it cut us off? No.
What sort of life did Ronan lead?
You know, just normal. He'd go to work, come visit me afterwards, and go home. He didn't have much of a social life. At least he never mentioned any friends to me. I always hoped Ronan would meet a nice girl to settle down with, but he was so shy, you know.
Where did Ronan work?
At the Grips Home Taxidermy Shop in Gascon. I always thought it was rather macabre work, but he enjoyed it. Bit lonely, though.
Can you give me the address of Ronan's apartment?
It's at 1172 Bushmill Street. I have a spare key.
That would be most helpful. Thank you.
No, Steam repair puzzles to get into this one?
So, this is your bakery.
My husband Gerald and I have had it for almost 10 years.
Is it just the two of you? Do you have any children?
Alas, no. Some extra hands would be most welcome in the kitchen, but we haven't yet been blessed. It's such a shame that Ronan never got to be an uncle.
I can't tell if her looking off to the side when she's sad is just how she does it, or she's lying.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the outcome of the election?
Oh, I haven't given it much thought, to be honest. It hardly seems to matter now.
We don't know
Yes,
who
of course.
won, do we?
My apologies for bringing it up.
Mm-mm.
Those are all the questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Okay, so I got pepperoni pizza. I got the new Papa John's crispy pepperoni. It is super crispy, like to the point where I can see it getting picked up by the microphone.
Oh.
A bunch of assorted baking products. Don't waste your time with those, Miles. We've got a murder to solve.
I disagree.
Look at these cakes.
Those look nice, but given the choice, I'll always side with pie over cake.
They're both great. I have no preference. I will take either, unless
Yeah,
it's a chocolate
same.
cake. I am not a fan of chocolate cake. I will take a chocolate pie. And then to make it even weirder, I do like red velvet cake. Even though, yes, I know that it's chocolate cake that has just been doused in red food coloring, and I guess that changes the texture enough to make me not dislike it. Wow, we got a lot of places now. You have a
Yeah, I do.
preference.
What's the one on the top right there? What is that icon?
It looks like an idol or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like we got to go check that out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Quite the collection of exotic items in here. Ronan appears to be a seasoned world traveler.
Or at least knows someone who is.
Huh.
This one is scarier than the other masks. Wait a moment. I think I saw something shiny in the back of the mouth.
Hmm.
How about that? A perfect hiding place for a key.
I'm gonna assume this was
You got
probably
the roll
locked.
top? Yeah.
Now to find out what Mr.
Yeah.
Lespay finds so precious. Looks like you found Ronan's journal. Perhaps this will be able to give us some more insight into what he was up to before he died.
What's with the teacup?
A good question. Look at that first.
Ooh, this teacup could use a washing. I'd be surprised if it isn't
Also,
permanently stuck to
what's
the
this
desk.
stain over here?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't inspect that? That's unusual.
This one appears to be from Emily.
Ronan, Gerald and I will be celebrating the new year and would like to invite you to spend it with us. Please feel free to bring along any guests you like, especially any lady friends you might have. All my love, Emily. Ooh.
Aha. A letter from someone called Jimbo?
Ronan, yeah, I can read this. Next week will be a year since we met. I can honestly say my life has changed for the better in every possible way, and I will always hold July 8th as a special date in my heart. Can't wait to see you again. Oh! Please don't let this be a bury your gaze in case. Please.
They appear to be a pair of letters from Ronan's landlord.
Sorry, for those that are not aware, bury your gaze is a literary trope where to build acceptance around someone who is LGBTQ, they make the character extremely likable in some way or another, and then they kill them and their lover by the end of it. And for Ronan, with regards to your request for an extension to pay this month's rent, I'll gladly give you until next month, so July to September. You've always been a reliable tenant who's paid on time, so don't be concerned. Hope you resolve your issues. Yeah, that's a bit of a gap. I understand we all go through difficulties, but I'm afraid I can't extend my generosity beyond the end of 2 months. Please have the rent ready by then, or I'll have no choice but to seek legal action around you. Alright, well, we need to talk to someone named Danforth.
A model of the SS Joondalup. Looks like a merchant vessel to me.
Can I break it?
A model
No. Okay.
It's over.
Ooh, this teacup.
Ooh, okay, here we go.
Oh, July 8th, yeah.
There are 2 entries, one from this year and one from last.
So, start with last year's.
July 8th, 1843. I've decided I need to get out more, so I'm going to a club in Gascon tonight. Stuffing animals has taken its toll, and I need to talk to someone who isn't Emily or my coworkers. Gerald told me about a place called the Crimson Cat. I'll try it, and if I don't enjoy myself, I'll just come home. Now for this year's entry. July 8th, 1844. Today is our 1-year anniversary. We're going to meet at the Cat again. I love him, but I wish he wasn't so attached to that place. Emily is so nosy, I worry that she might follow me and discover the truth about Jimbo. If we moved around, I wouldn't worry, but with him, it's always the Crimson Cat. I really shouldn't complain, though. What we have is something truly special.
Well, it seems that our best hope of finding this Jimbo character is to visit the Crimson Cat.
Let's see. February 24th, 1844. Jimbo has been at sea for nearly 2 months. These long periods away are the most difficult, but all the time seems to disappear when I see him again. My solace is that he will return with plenty of tales of adventure. I can hardly wait to hear them. November 9th, 1843. I have an uneasy feeling of dread today. Last night I had a frightening dream where fire rained from the sky and people were afflicted with an awful disease. I'm just going to focus on my work today. Perhaps the feeling will pass.
Is he a warrior of light from Final Fantasy XIV? Because that is pretty explicitly how the warriors of light wake up. Is they have a vision of the sky opening up, fiery meteors coming down, and people getting transformed into monsters.
Well, that's fun. I'm gonna go grab more pizza.
Mm-hmm. How do I... Oh.
This mask looks African. You should try it on. It'd be an improvement. Some kind of owl mask. The hair looks incredibly familiar. Some kind of owl... Just looking at this painting is making me feel seasick. Ronan's book collection mostly consists of cheap pulp adventure novels, but this top shelf looks interesting.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh boy. We're not gonna read these because these are just literally like animal facts, but I love these illustrations. I love this illustration.
A strange cross between a rabbit and a donkey. The kangaroo is a marsupial.
I guess you could say a kangaroo's a cross between a rabbit and a donkey. I don't know about that, but
an interesting description.
Look, Ma, drop bears. Visual?
It's in another language, but it appears to be a Bible.
Huh. Unmarked book.
No title, and it appears to be blank. I wonder if Ronan just kept empty books on his shelf to appear well read.
Or you scroll through and there's pages cut out with things in it. Oh.
No title.
No.
And
Oh boy. Hey, we're getting a trophy. Read every book in the game?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
No more books.
All right, I'm gonna take a drink before I read this. You must be aware, dear reader, that the customs of the Orient differ greatly from our own. You would do well to familiarize yourself not only with the common ones, but the more obscure and clandestine ones as well, lest you offend anyone in your travels. Opium use. At the turn of the century, the travelers in the Orient would often seek out the more exotic pleasure, which is to say opium. Nowadays, the influx of immigrants from China to Vespuccia has caused a significant drop in this type of tourism, as many opium devs have appeared in El Presidio, with some even known to exist as far as New Britannia. In any case, opium dens are all open to all who seek to indulge. Ah, thank you, 6-7. That was Dutch. Known colloquially as riding the dragon. The use of opium recreationally for relaxation or as a social activity is a common practice. Baiju. If you are offered wine, make sure you understand what exactly it is you're about to drink. Chances are it might be baiju, a clear liquid usually distilled from fermented sorghum, although other grains may be used. Southern China versions may employ glutinous rice, while northern Chinese varieties may use wheat, barley, millet, Malay. Is that right? I can never remember how to pronounce that. Millet or Malay?
I think millet, but I'm definitely not positive.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's mentioned in Quest for Glory, one of them, and I always never heard it out loud. It was before they were narrated. Or even Job's Tears instead of sorghum. Keeping Job around somewhere? Is that something I should know? Is that a name for an alcohol? The Gyoku, nope. I'm going to say Gyokwa. Starter culture used in the production of Baiju mash is usually made of pulverized wheat grains. As a foreigner, drinking Baiju may be a shocking experience. It's been known to use the way of proving oneself in a group. High concentration of alcohol is too much for anyone not used to it. Exercise caution. Last thing you want is to end up face down in a back alley. Huh. I have a feeling that'll be important for later. Hey, Rose Mason.
Hello, hello.
Ronan wasn't too concerned with comfort, apparently. This is hardly bigger than a bunk at sea. I had an illustration that looked similar to that one. I wonder where it ended up. I guess Ronan won't be realizing his world travel dreams now. Death really has a way of messing up your plans.
I'm sorry, Bill.
Ronan wasn't too concerned.
Oh, I would have thought we could inspect that chest. Apparently not. Well, that's everything here. I'm gonna say we go to the Crimson Cat and see if our star-crossed lover is there. That's Bill, a great second.
This place has been around for quite some time. That well-dressed feline is Red, the official mascot.
Dr. Edwards. Did we have the police station on the map? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was there.
Okay. You know?
Beg your pardon. Your name wouldn't happen to be Jimbo, would it?
Yeah? Who's asking?
Miles Fordham, private investigator.
Can a guy enjoy his shore leave without being harassed by the law? I've done nothing wrong.
I didn't say you had, and I'm most certainly not the law. I just want to ask you a few questions.
All right, fine.
You know Ronan Spey?
I knew him, yeah.
Knew him?
He and I haven't spoken recently. In about a month, actually.
Oh,
Things didn't
no.
go so well last time.
How do you mean?
Let's just say we didn't part on the best of terms.
Oh,
He made it very
no.
clear that he didn't want to speak to me again.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered?
What? No, when? What happened?
He was shot outside a tavern in Chumley 4 nights ago.
Chumley? What was he doing there?
I was hoping perhaps you could tell me.
I honestly don't know. Ronan hardly went out, and he especially never crossed the river.
Why was that?
I think he was just too scared of the world to go out and see it for himself.
Huh.
He was happy enough reading about it in his books or collecting things I brought him back from my travels. Honestly, that's what I liked most about him. He was just an average, boring man. It was just the sort of balance I needed in my life.
That's pretty much the exact same reason I always enjoyed working with you, Miles.
Shut up, Bill.
You and Ronan had a special relationship, didn't you?
Mr. Fordham, we're in an underground club. You don't have to tap dance around it. Yes, Ronan and I were a couple, at least up until last month.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
We had a misunderstanding. Ronan thought I had been seeing someone else. He was extremely jealous. I tried to explain that he had it all wrong, but he wouldn't hear me out. I was going to give him some time to cool off, but, well, that's not going to happen now, is it?
If it's any consolation, I found a letter you wrote him, which he still kept in his desk.
Damn. Thank you for telling me that.
And
Where does the name Jimbo come from?
It's just a nickname. My real name's James Bowcroft.
And what is it you do?
I'm a sailor. I thought you detective types were supposed to be extra observant. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what my occupation was just by looking at my fingernails or something?
Sorry to disappoint. Perceptiveness is important in my line of work, but I'm also just a man.
I think perhaps Jimbo has been reading too many of those detective stories in Brentwell's.
So what is going on with the election? Something about this.
Yeah.
Keep
Do
coming
you
up.
have any opinions about the recent election?
Not really. I'm usually way at sea, so I don't keep up with
Who
politics.
won the
sea's
election?
got our own laws. Anyway, I can't vote, so it's really none of my concern.
But you're still affected by the decisions the Prime Minister makes.
Not very fair, is it, Mr. Fordham?
No, but hopefully Mr. Leroy will stand
Okay.
up for equal rights.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Who did we vote for?
I do not remember.
Did we write it down? Because
I
we
did
voted.
not.
We voted for the guy. Did we?
There was a guy that's very pro-machine and a guy that's more pro-worker.
Yeah.
And we voted for the pro-worker guy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Seagrave's Stasholine, high-quality mustache wax.
The question is that Leroy?
You know, I always wondered what you'd look like with a mustache.
I think it is.
Attention customers. Use of Dr. Tennyson's figure pills while under the influence of alcohol may cause loss of consciousness. It's nice to see this establishment looking out for its patrons.
I'll be back in a sec.
Yep, you're good.
Fine beer always served here. Good to know.
6-7. There's normally a newspaper at the start of every case until we got kicked out of our house.
Looks like a view of Claremont Street. Call me old-fashioned, but I've always felt the piano should be played by an actual human. These automated ones just don't have any soul. Good old Bollingworth Ale. Unlike so many other things in life, it never lets you down. Well, not while you're drinking it anyway. The next morning is another story entirely.
There is no one else we can talk to here.
More pizza fingers so I can start taking notes.
Yeah. That's why I tend to only buy pizza or make pizza that I can fold. Or that way it's at least stiff enough you can grab it just from the edge. Okay, I chose the last one. Is there a preference on where you would like to go?
What are the... We have the crow and the deer trophy.
I'm guessing the Silent Raven was where he got killed. Because it's in Chumley.
And then what's the deer trophy?
The taxidermy shop? I guess that might be where he works.
Shop. Right. Yeah. Let's check that out.
Ooh, got a
Hello,
gorilla.
welcome to the Gripsome Taxidermy Shop. Please let me know if I can be of service.
There's a button. I'm gonna...
Well, there are many people it took to bring down this brute. There's a small button on the base.
What?
That one above the door? What?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Is that supposed to be a lion? Is that supposed to be a lion?
Oh boy.
Just when I
Yikes.
thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next?
Did they make the gorilla grab its nipples?
Is that... I thought it was like doing a grabbing motion. Just...
No, okay. It's just doing like a hug motion.
You're right.
Secret Crush says that she believes it's referencing something about a famously poorly taxidermied lion. I'm going to say that anything that's taxidermied is poorly taxidermied. Or at least in poor taste.
Oh yeah, it's spot on. That's amazing.
All right, now I'm going to look it up.
I will post a link in chat when I find a good one here.
Lion.
Looks like a good page. The Gripsholm lion?
Wow. Okay, yeah, hold on. This
Lion of Gripsholm Castle near Stockholm in Sweden.
Hold on, I can go chat and people that may be watching the archive.
Incredible.
A heck of a thing. Also, yeah, that's just 100% accurate. Like,
yeah,
that's just what it is.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you on Secret Crush.
Exotic dead fauna from every other continent. You never even need to leave Vespuccia. Reminds me of the one in the Dupre house, except that one actually looked alive. There's a small button on the base.
Oh, that's got a button too.
Welcome to the Gripsholm Taxidermy Shop. Please enjoy our displays and be sure to consider us for all. Just a reminder,
sorry.
we stuff animals only.
Is that a common request otherwise?
Necessary to point out?
Did we ever actually do anything with the parrot in the first case? I don't think we did.
I think we got a little information out of it.
Did I catch the
It
name of the
definitely
shop?
said some things.
I'll get the name of the shop after we leave here.
I was wondering if you might answer some questions for me.
Of course. What can I help you with?
No, I don't remember that, Res Mason. That's fucked.
I was told Ronan Lespay works here. Do you know him?
Ronan? Yes, of course. That is to say, I know he works here. I haven't had much interaction with him. He mostly keeps to himself.
Does he have an office or workspace I might have a look at?
Now, wait just a minute. Why would I let some random stranger off the street in to look at an employee's workspace?
Because I'm a private investigator and I'm trying to get some information.
Well, even if that is the case, I'm afraid you're out of luck. Ronan does have a workspace, but it's completely bare. He doesn't keep anything here.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered 4 nights ago?
I had no idea. That's awful. What happened?
That's what I'm currently trying to find out.
At least it looks
Do you know
sincere.
if Ronan had any enemies? Anyone who might want to do him harm?
No. As I said, I didn't speak with him much or know much about him. But now that I think about it, I did notice a strange man waiting around outside the shop a few days ago.
Tell me about this strange man you saw.
At the time, I didn't think much of him, but the more I recall, the more I realize he was being very
That's oddly
suspicious.
convenient.
What did he do?
He just stood outside across the street, but he seemed to be focusing on the building. It was as though he was waiting for something. He was tall and had a heavy build, like a boxer. He had a beard, I think, or mutton chops at the very least.
Okay.
And as far as I can recall, he was wearing all black.
Oh.
He also had on some kind of cap.
Jimbo.
I'm sorry I can't give you a better description, but that's all I was able to distinguish. My eyesight isn't very good, I'm afraid.
That's just outright
It'll have to
Jimbo.
do. Thank you for your help. Anything you can tell me about the shop?
Plenty. This is New Britannia's most sophisticated taxidermy shop. Unlike other taxidermists, we work with modern technology to get results they could only dream of.
What does that mean?
As you can see
exactly?
above the door.
Using steam tech, we are able to create the illusion of life in these beasts.
Oh,
Just take a look at our
animatronics.
floor samples. The parrot and gorilla are 2 of our finest works. They really speak for themselves. Well, the parrot does at least. I think it would frighten our customers if the gorilla did too. And once ethericity is harnessed as a viable source of energy, we'll get even better results.
This guy is way too excited about bringing dead
Do you
things
by
back to
chance
life.
have
Yes. Fascinating. Moving on.
a large bear, a chicken, a fox, and a bunny? You've turned into animatronics. Just checking.
So how did you get this job?
Oh, it isn't a terribly exciting story, I'm afraid. I just saw an ad in the Gazette for a clerk position. I never expected to learn so much about taxidermy.
I'm sure he's amazing conversation at parties.
Any thoughts on the recent election?
I'd really rather not talk about it. I don't know how the people of this country could put someone like Hart Leroy in charge.
It's obviously because he holds the interests of the common man above all else.
Leroy was
so,
yeah.
You're just like all the other cowards who think steam tech is dangerous.
Very interested to see how this
affects
affects
the game. I hope you like
game.
the idea of living in the Dark Ages, because that's where Leroy is going to take us.
Perhaps it's best if we drop the subject entirely. Thank you for your help.
I'm here to serve.
Did we get a new note? We did. Yeah, okay. Nowhere else we could go?
Okay. I was wondering if we could go in that other room.
I can go back and check, but I didn't see a... Oh yeah, you're right. This is actually called the Gripsham Taxidermy Shop. So...
That leads into a room with even more dead things. It's such a shame we haven't the time to stick around and explore.
Okay.
Yeah, can't do it. Let's go talk to our friend the mortician.
Okay.
I was beginning to wonder when you'd show up.
Well, wonder no longer. I'm here and I need to see Dr. Edwards.
Oh, I see how it is. He helped you solve a case, and now you don't have time for us lowly front desk clerks.
That's just the way it goes, Upton. Maybe next time you should pick a nicer coffee house.
Oh, they're putting on a...
Right.
Okay.
You know the way. Snelling isn't in today, so you're all clear.
Well, that's a relief. Thanks, Upton.
They were putting on a facade.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about Ronan Le Spay, would you?
Probably nothing more than you already know. His body is in the mortuary, and the reason for his murder is unknown. I suggest you speak with Dr. Edwards.
Second. Ow. Yeah.
How are things with you?
Better than last week, but plenty of feathers still ruffled around here.
What happened?
You have to ask. Snelling was not happy with you turning up at the Latham crime scene. He was a right inquisition around here. Snelling going around to interrogate everyone, trying to ferret out a leak.
So he suspects.
I'm afraid so. I managed to calm him down some and divert suspicion. He thinks someone on the force is speaking to the Gazette, not to you directly.
Well, that's some kind of relief. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, don't worry about me. Well, maybe worry about me a little. Hmm?
That was one hell of an election, wasn't it?
That it was. I don't know how he managed it, but I'm glad Leroy won.
I feel the same. Atwood seemed convinced he had it in the bag.
I think he just grossly underestimated how much the Lygia disaster affected
Lygia,
everyone.
okay.
Thought we could go on like nothing happened. Hell, if Prince Harold hadn't been aboard, we would have. Now, isn't that sad?
Upton, I need you to put out a bulletin. There's someone I need found.
Oh, who's that?
I don't know his name. I only have a description.
All right, I'll need to ask
Miles,
you a few questions. Could you describe the man's height and build?
Oh. Interesting. I think he was... I don't remember. We'll go tall and large.
He's tall, with a large build.
All right. What color is his hair?
I believe it's black.
All right. Do you know of any unique details that might make him easier to identify?
He has a beard, or mutton chops.
I see. Well, I'll put out the bulletin, but that's a bit of a generic description. All right. The bulletin is out. I'll let you know if I hear
Weird.
anything.
Thanks, Upton. I appreciate
Also, I've
the
not
help.
saved this entire time, and that's bad.
Oops. Check that note. I'm curious if we got
Yeah, okay.
large build. Okay.
We should go talk to him next.
Always be saving.
Yep. I like this. This image in the forefront is very good.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, Edwards.
Ah, Fordham. Always a pleasure.
Have you got time for some questions?
Of course.
So what can you tell me about Ronan Le Spay?
Caucasian male, approximately 27 years old. died of blood loss as a result of being shot at close range. He was brought in 4 nights ago. I performed the postmortem the following day. After that, his next of kin was contacted. I believe his sister came to identify the body.
Any personal opinions on what might have happened?
Well, the fact he was shot at such a close range would suggest it was done by someone he knew. And robbery doesn't appear to be a motive, since his wallet was found on the body with money in it. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Better, I hope.
Did the postmortem reveal anything?
Quite a few things, actually. Mr. Lespay was extremely inebriated when the shooting took place.
He'd bite you.
There was enough alcohol in his blood to presume he had been drinking for hours before his death. I also managed to remove the bullet from his heart. It's a 36 caliber
that's
lead
good to
ball,
know.
standard
36
revolver
caliber
shot. It shouldn't be
revolver.
too hard to match to a weapon, provided you can find it.
Did you notice anything unusual about the clothes Mr. Lespay was wearing?
Unusual? Not really. They seemed a bit big for him, but that's all.
His sister seemed convinced that they didn't belong to him.
That's a distinct possibility, but I couldn't say for sure. He could have just been a sloppy dresser.
So no murder weapons been found?
That's right. Either the killer still has it, or the police just overlooked it. If you happen across any weapon...
Thank you, Edwards.
Sorry.
I'll be on the lookout. How's the coroner business?
Things have been pretty dead around here lately.
Don't quit your day job, Edwards.
Have a good night, everybody. No.
What are your thoughts on the election?
There was an election?
I think our friend Edwards needs to get out a bit more.
I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham. And remember, not everyone gets to leave the morgue alive, so consider yourself lucky that you can.
That's relatively true. Half the time you leave the morgue possessed. We're looking for a 36 caliber revolver. What the hell is a 36? It's an odd caliber.
Ah, okay.
Where would you like to go?
The Raven? Silent Raven.
Oh, hey, this is one of the promo shots.
To think, in an instant, a man's life can be reduced to some scribbles on the filthy pavement.
Now's not the time to get poetic, Bill.
Is it in the drain?
Securely fastened, unfortunately for you. If only there was some way to undo these bolts and remove the drain cover. Yesterday's rain has made the water level rise significantly. Is it just me, or does it look like there's something resting at the bottom?
It is in the drain.
If there is, I have no way of getting to it through the drain cover.
Alright, well, we need a wrench. Just got done using like 5 of them outside, and unfortunately that doesn't help me in the game.
It's an ad for whiskey, or perhaps paint thinner. Sometimes it could be hard to tell the difference. I suppose you could do worse, as far as bar names go. My, this garage shop looks pretty
the guy from
rough, even by chum standards. Let's keep a low profile while you're in here, Miles. Doesn't look like cleaning up is high on the list of priorities around here.
Oh, yeah. You're reading my mind, 6-7. The knife in the middle of a chess game. All right.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Nah, never heard of him.
He was killed here 4 nights ago. The man in this ferrotype.
Oh, that one. Well, I never saw him before that night, and I didn't talk to him. You with the police or something?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to help his sister find out what happened.
So are you done with the questions? Can I get you a drink or what?
Yeah, she's a shrewd businesswoman. You at least have to give her that.
Were you working on election night?
Pal, I'm here most every night.
So that's a yes, then?
Christ on a cracker. You ain't too bright, are you? Yes, I was here on election night.
There's no need to be rude about it, madam. Tell me what you know about the murder that took place outside on election night.
Listen, chum, do you know how busy we were that night? This was a polling place.
Oh.
We had gents coming
Polling
in
place
and out
in a
for
bar.
hours, not to mention the regular clientele. I was up to my ass in drink orders and was running the shift all by myself. Had to break up God knows how many fights, too. So you'll excuse me if I didn't exactly notice something that happened out on the street.
Did you at least hear the gunshot?
No, I didn't. You try distinguishing a gunshot over a room full of rowdy voters. It ain't gonna happen.
What can you tell me about this place?
It's a bar. People come here to drink. Sometimes people drink too much, and then they're sick all over. I get the honor of cleaning up the mess.
Sounds like you're not too pleased with your job.
I never said that. There may be rough days, but there's a lot worse I could be doing. Here, I get a place to sleep and a bit to eat and a few coins in my pocket if the customers are pleased. And you are pleased, ain't you, sir?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course I am.
Good.
You mentioned regular clientele. Who are they?
Oh, we get plenty of regulars in here, too many to name.
Which of them were here on election night?
Let me think. I remember seeing 3 of the usual crowd. There was Darius, up to no good as always. Then there was Singin' Tom, but he wasn't around for too long. And how could I forget old Cormac? He'd have talked my ear off if I'd let him.
Sound like an interesting bunch of folks.
Who was the dude that was asking for rent? Do we remember that name?
Oh,
We can go back and look later.
Where might I find the landlord?
You won't find him anywhere. He doesn't come around here more than once a month.
What can you tell me about Darius?
Hey now, bucko. You've come in here asking me all these questions, but I ain't seen nothing from you. You want more information? You're gonna have to earn it.
Right. Give me a gin, then.
Coming right up.
Don't get carried away now, Miles.
There you are. 1 gin. That'll be 2 shillings.
There's 3. Now then, about Darius.
Now that man is trouble. I've had to throw him out a few times.
Why do you say he's trouble?
His mind's affected by the poppy seed.
Oh.
He can be gentle as a kitten or fly into a rage at a moment's notice. When he gets
And on
rowdy,
the opium.
he gets chucked.
I see. Any idea where I might be able to find him?
Don't know why you'd want to find him, but I hear he spends his day at a smokehouse nearby. I believe it's on Crisparkle Lane. Just look for the door with the oriental symbols above it.
And could you describe him to me?
He's a rough-looking sort, about 55 years old, has a scar on his left cheek, grayish hair, medium build.
Excellent. Thank you.
was that Darius we were talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is Singing Tom?
Ah, Tom. Not sure what his surname is, but he's in here about twice a week. We call him Singing Tom because he leads a church choir.
Is that right? Which church?
Oh, I haven't a clue. Never really cared to ask.
Does he associate with any of the other regulars?
I've seen him talking with Darius a few times. They seem to be on friendly terms.
Tell me about Cormac.
He's in here most every night. Doesn't speak to many people, just me. And a right chatterbox he is, too. Between you and me, Cormac stinks. I can understand why he doesn't keep much company.
He stinks?
Aye, he's a sewer worker. Spends all his day underground in the muck, so he always reeks of shit.
I see. Any idea where specifically he works?
I believe he's at the treatment station, over near the ferry terminal.
If this is going where I think it is, then I'm especially glad I can't smell anything anymore.
Except for that one time.
Yeah, I think I still wonder if the question was like him smelling or like just saying, hey, you're going to smell. right? I don't trust it either way. I am still not convinced that Bill is real, but...
Yeah.
Have you worked here long?
13 years.
I see. Anything else you can tell me about yourself?
I ain't the friendly type.
Right. Understood. I was given the physical description of a man. I was wondering if you might recognize him if I told you.
Perhaps. Go on, then.
He's tall, strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Bit vague, wouldn't you say? That covers about half our clientele.
I was afraid that might be the case. Did you notice anyone of that description here on election night?
Weird. Did we just find out... Oh, sorry. Did we just find out about Jimbo, like, really early?
Yeah, it seems weird.
Any thoughts on the election?
Nah, couldn't care less, really. Doesn't matter who's in charge. My life ain't getting any better.
Surely it'll get better with Leroy in office.
We'll see.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
Let's go talk to Jimbo.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimbo, you got a wrench? Really use a wrench. You know where I bet you we'll get a wrench? At the water treatment station. But, let's go.
So many places to explore now.
Yeah. Let's go double check.
He won't have anything relevant to tell us right now.
Huh.
Weird. I'm cold. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're fine. Oh, how are you all doing, chat? I hope you're having a good week. I will take this time to say that I am raising funds for the national bailout. You don't have to donate, but if you would like to, you can choose one of the incentives. Although, I don't know that you can do the incentives right now. I think they're turned off. But if you'd like to, we're real close to goal. All right.
Sorry about that.
Fine, no worries.
All right, where are we going?
Where are we going? Opium Den or water treatment station, since Jimbo was a bust?
Let's check out the Opium Den.
I wonder how many layers of advertisements you'd have to cut through before getting to the wall. Crisparkle Lane. Nothing crisp or sparkly about it.
That's not right. That's right.
Yes? What do you want?
Which would you
I feel like the second one is the most likely to get us somewhere.
I was told this was the place to come if I wanted to ride the dragon.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say
All
so?
right.
Please, come in.
She's not going to be much help right now. That's not to bother her.
Oh, well, hi, Darius. Thanks for telling us that's Darius, Gabe.
Huh.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a man by the name of Darius.
Well, look no further. Welcome, friend. Sit, join me.
I'll stand, if that's all right. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Questions are the path to enlightenment. Answers fly by as birds on the breeze.
Trying to figure out if they're trying to make this an Irish accent?
Question.
Wonderful. He's as high as a kite. This is going to be worse than pulling teeth.
Huh. Darius can match that description too.
No, he doesn't have a hat on.
Oh, you're right.
There's a hat, right?
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Lespay?
I know many men. Some old, some young, some rich, some poor. Some I know by name, some by face. But this man you speak of, this Ronan, he is unfamiliar to me.
I have a ferrotype. Do you recognize him?
Forgive me, but my eyes are blurry. I cannot make out his features.
Well, he's useless, isn't he? Too bad there's no way to snap him out of it, like there was with Dupre's kid.
Is that a hint?
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Was it a murder?
It was. A man was shot in cold blood.
That would explain the commotion, as well as the sound.
So you heard the gunshot?
I did. I thought it might have been one of the voting machines making the noise. But then there were shouts, and people began to run.
Did you see or hear anything before you heard the gunshot?
I seem to remember hearing a man shouting a name.
A name?
Yes. It sounded like Priscilla.
Well, how about that? He's managed to be of some use after all. Assuming he's telling the truth, of course.
And does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Afraid not, young man.
What can you tell me about the Silent Raven?
Ah, the Raven. My home away from home.
I would have thought that was this place. Unless this one is just the home.
Do you have many friends there? People you speak with often?
Yes, friends. I call them friends anyway, but really, what is a friend? Someone who drinks with you?
Opposite of an enemy?
Secrets with you? Are those friends? My father used to tell me that the only two friends you had were your mother and the crown in your pocket. Well,
Father sounded like an idiot.
Those are gone now. So what does that mean for me?
I don't know, sir. I'm just asking about people you speak to at the Raven.
The barmaid, Nicole, she gets mad at me sometimes when I break things. But she's all right.
Have you ever conversed with a patron called Singing Tom?
Singing Tom? You mean old Tom Puffin?
I'm not sure. I was just told he was called Singing Tom and was a regular at the Silent Raven.
That's the man. I see him in here all the time.
Huh.
In here? Not just at the Raven?
Tom is a child of the poppy, just as I am. He truly understands the world as it is.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Yes, he's the choir master at St. Denis
Great.
Cathedral.
Thank you.
That's where he spends his time when he's not here.
You mean to tell me we have to talk to another one of these loonies? Wonderful.
Do you often come to this establishment, Darius?
Oh, yes. This place is better than any doctor or hospital. It has exactly the cure I need.
Cure? For what?
I'm ill, sir. Just as you are. Just as we all are. Infected by a terrible disease known as life.
Ooh.
Speak for yourself.
Okay.
But spend a few hours in here with the intoxicating nectar of the poppy, and you'll find nothing can defeat you.
I was wondering if you could tell me whether you saw a certain man at the Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Lots of people like that go to the Raven. I see loads of them every night. But now that you mention it, I do remember someone like that. He was a strange one.
How so?
I remember one of the times he came in, he was adjusting his hat. I could have sworn when he took it off for just a moment, his hair was bright red.
How is that strange, exactly?
Because his beard was jet black. It was the oddest thing I'd seen. Well, it was the oddest thing I'd seen, until his beard slid halfway down his face.
I see. Well, thank you for the information.
Wonderful.
Big
This
beard.
testimony is about as useful as a hole in the head. Then again, there might be something to it.
So did you manage to get out of here and vote?
Please don't bother me with such trivial matters. Why should I care who leads the government? As long as they don't outlaw places like this, they can do whatever they please.
Is this guy ignorant or just apathetic? Yeah, well, I don't know, and I don't care.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, young man. May you find peace and happiness.
I thought he was going to be considerably more problematic.
She's not gonna...
See if we can talk. Jimbo, take off your hat.
Hello, Jimbo. I have a few more questions for you.
All right, fine.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Yes, that's my ship, the SS
Oh.
Priscilla.
I see. Did Ronan know about it?
Of course. He always used to ask me to bring him back some exotic souvenir.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Now I am sleuthing shy because like lots of things points to him, but it is way too early to make those assumptions.
I don't know. I mean, based on the bright red hair and fake beard info.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right. Of course, Darius is high as a kite, so.
Sure.
Church or sewer?
Well, let's go check out that sewer.
So this is what it's come to, eh? Braving the stench of human waste in hopes of finding a lead. Just make sure you stay away from the edge.
Equipment the guy is standing in front of looks like it's got a face on it.
Sure does. I'm gonna go
While
fall
you
in the water.
could use a bath. I don't think this is the right place to take a dip.
It looks like an angry robot.
Begging your pardon, sir.
What? Who are you? What are you doing down here?
My name's Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a sewer worker by the name of Cormac.
We needn't look no further. But what is this about?
I just have a few questions for you.
All right. Cormac will answer them, but don't dally for too long. It
This
can
sounds
be
a lot like
dangerous
Jesse
down
Cox
here
putting
for
on a
anyone
voice.
who's not trained as Cormac is.
This is very much not the portrait I expected to see after.
Same. Yeah.
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Cormac knows few men. People don't much like talking to a man who spends his days in the sewers. Can't really blame him for it. It's hard to get a stink off, so why bother even trying?
You didn't answer my question, though. Do you know Ronan Lespay or not?
Could you describe him? Cormac's got a better memory for faces than for names.
I have his portrait. Here, have a look.
Ah, yes. Cormac saw this fellow recently.
On election night?
That's right. He come into the bar, voted, went out. Looked drunk to Cormac, but then everyone at that place usually is.
Do you frequent a pub called the Silent Raven?
Yes. The Raven is where Cormac goes to forget about the day's work. The barmaid, Nicole, she's a good sort. We like
This is
talking about
5.0
the
Paimon.
ponies down at the track. Nikki loves her some racing. She gives Cormac drinks for cheap in exchange for odd jobs. Nice to have your own personal sewer man, I suppose. She's really the only one Cormac talks to. There's a few others Cormac sees often, but Cormac hasn't spoken with them.
Ripes. This guy goes on and on, doesn't he? To be fair, you were warned.
Do you know anything about the murder that took place outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Ah, yes. The commotion out in the alleyway.
That's right. Did you see or hear anything?
It was a touch noisy that night, what with all the election stuff happening, but Cormac remembers the sound of the gun. One shot, and then shouting and hollering from the bar. A few people run outside to look at what happened, but Cormac just stayed in his seat and finished his whiskey.
So you didn't see the man who was shot, or who shot him?
Nah, keeps to himself, Cormac does.
Narp.
Makes life easier that way.
Could he be any more unhelpful? Actually, it's probably best not to find out.
Would you be able to remove the cover of a storm drain?
Yes, of course, sir. Cormac's got the right tool for the job. Just a few twists from old Mary here, and any drain will open up like a Christmas rose.
Excellent.
What is a Christmas
Would you
rose?
be able to open the storm drain outside the Silent Raven?
Suppose so, yes. But Cormac ain't allowed to just open up drains as he sees fit. What do you want this drain open for?
I believe there's a vital piece of evidence at the bottom of the drain.
You don't say.
It's quite true. It may even help me solve a murder.
Well then, in that case, Cormac will get the drain open for you. Come on, there's not a moment to lose.
Okay.
Yep.
This it then?
That's the one.
Right, won't be a moment.
Well, thanks,
There
Cormac.
we are.
Thank you for your help, Cormac.
Not a problem. Now, if you don't mind, Cormac's just going to pop inside for a quick pint.
Probably should ask those other questions. But first, the murder weapon.
Detective work is a dirty job, but someone has to do it. Don't forget to roll up your sleeve.
I really hope there's something down there.
Yeah, rotoscoping.
This is
Nice
almost
animation.
as bad as the time I had to search for that stolen necklace in a pile of horse manure.
Please don't pick up a handful of
Glad we
poop.
didn't draw
Please
the
don't
short
pick up a
straw in
handful of
that
poop.
case.
Nope.
Well, how about that?
Wish the police had found this so I wouldn't have to carry it around.
So do we go ask more questions with a murder weapon in our hand? I'm going to say we go bring it back to the cops.
Yeah, I think that's best. And then wash our hands. Poop gun.
You read my mind, Francisco Crush.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
Found this poop gun.
Imagine the smell. No,
I'll let
thank
you
you.
get back.
And
I actually imagine there's probably not much of a smell. I think that was just a storm drain. Like, right, you could have drunks pissing into it and stuff, but...
Sure.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
I found this poop gun.
I found this pistol at the scene of the Lespay crime. Could you take a look and see if it was used to murder him?
It's all slimy. Where was it?
Sitting at the bottom of a storm drain.
Oh, I suppose that's not as exciting as finding it inside someone's intestines. Did I ever tell you about that post-mortem, by the way?
No, I certainly don't want to hear about it now.
Got a
How long
gun
will
in
it take
someone's
you to analyze that
intestines?
pistol?
I should have something conclusive within the hour, if you don't mind waiting.
No, it'll give me some time to gather my thoughts.
Right. I've concluded my analysis, and this gun
Wonder
was
if that moves
definitely
people
used to
around
shoot
town.
Mr. Lespay. The bullet I removed from his body is a perfect match.
Thank you, Edwards. That is extremely helpful.
There's one more thing. I cleaned off some of the muck and found the initials JB.
What was
etched into the
Jimbo's
handle.
last name?
Interesting.
My expertise with guns is purely forensic, so I can't determine if this is the gun's maker or the initials of its owner. That's going to have to be your job.
Thank you, Edwards. Help is always appreciated. I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham.
I really wish I had written down what Jimbo's name was.
James.
It was James something.
I want to say it started with a B, but I'm not positive.
Yep.
That collection of stains, fluids, and other repugnant
Oh, yeah, that was
materials
while I was still
almost makes me
eating.
homesick for the chum.
Look, Unsecret Crush, you take the jokes when you can take them. Weird. Thank you very much, 6-7. Okay, well, still could be a red herring. Wouldn't be surprised if we come across another
I think,
JB.
to me, it sounds like someone is framing him.
That's also... Oh, right, because of the fake beard, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to the cathedral, right? The only other place we haven't... Yeah. You wearing a hat, or is that weird hair?
I think that's just hair.
He's got a black mustache.
I beg your pardon. Are you Tom Puffin?
I am. How may I help you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I wanted to ask you a few questions.
Questions? Have I done something wrong?
No, Mr. Puffin. I simply believe you may have some information that I need.
Very well, then.
Wow, that is some hair.
A wig. Right? Gotta be a wig. Like, he's got other hair right here. Underneath these supposed...
What were you doing on election night, Mr. Puffin?
Election night? That was ages ago, wasn't it?
It was 4 nights ago, to be precise.
Oh, you have to understand. I have trouble recalling what I ate for breakfast this morning, let alone what happened 4 nights ago.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Do try to remember, Mr. Puffin. It's quite important.
Well, I know I voted at my local polling place, the Silent Raven. And then... I'm not sure, actually.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Priscilla? What does that have to do with anything?
The name has come up in my investigation. Is it someone you're acquainted with?
No, it isn't. I don't know anyone by that name.
He certainly seemed concerned about her, though.
What?
Bill said he sort of seemed concerned about it, though.
Yeah, what's that referring to?
The word Priscilla?
Yeah. Did he respond in a way that...
Yeah, he got all shifty and...
okay, I missed that.
And said, like, what does that have to do with anything?
Okay.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven?
Murder?
Yes, a man was shot. Did you see or hear anything?
I don't remember. I don't think so, no.
How long were you at the Raven that evening?
Not very long, I don't think. I went, voted, stayed for a drink, and then I left.
You recall what you did the rest of the evening?
Not specifically. I probably went home and went to bed, like I always do.
Do you recognize the man in this photo?
Is that? No, never mind.
What is it?
Well, for a moment, I thought it was someone else, but I was clearly mistaken.
So you don't recognize this person, then?
Afraid not. Who is he?
His name is, or rather was, Ronan Lespay.
What? Is he dead?
He is. I'm trying to find out who killed him.
Well, I hope you find your man, Mr. Fordham.
Are you in the habit of using opium, Mr. Puffin?
What? Why would you think that?
I met your friend Darius. He told me you share a pastime.
All right, yes, I do enjoy a visit to the opium den from time to time.
From time to time? More like morning, noon, and night.
Have you found the drug has had any adverse effects? Memory loss, for example.
I admit I'm not quite as quick as I used to be, but without it, I'm in constant pain.
Is that right?
I fell off a horse when I was 15, and ever since then, my back's not been right. The doctors haven't been able to help. Poppy is my only comfort. I wish there were another way.
It might be worth seeking a more professional opinion about the effects of opium.
Wonder if we could ask the mortician about it.
How did you become choir master of this church?
Oh, well, I studied music at the University of New Britannia. Once I completed my studies, I began writing symphonies in hopes of securing a patron, but I had no luck. So I decided to focus on choral compositions. I sent a few pieces to the bishop, and he offered me the position.
And you enjoy it?
Oh, yes, sir, immensely. I'm able to continue composing songs for our choir, as well as teach music to our young members. I take my church duties very seriously.
What else do you do besides lead the choir?
Just a few things here and there, making sure the aisles and the pews are clean, tending to the prayer candles, and that sort of thing.
So, what do you think of the election results?
All right, the election. Who won?
Leroy. He beat Atwood by a significant margin.
Oh, I suppose that's good. I think I may have voted for him, but I'm not sure.
I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
So, if this is a wig, Is there a chance that people misidentified it as a cap?
Now this is one intriguing chest. If only we could search it without arousing any suspicions. This looks like the nicer of the two angels. This angel looks like it would throw its lamp at you as soon as you turned your back on it. What a racket! I'm glad you're not a member of this church. Sitting through Sunday Mass would drive me insane. Heh, prayer candles? People think lighting one of these is going to solve their problems. If only it were that easy. Also, what happens if they go out? Does that mean your prayer gets canceled? Shh. What? It's an important question.
Interesting.
The more I think about it, the more I want to test my theory about prayers being canceled if the candles go out.
Nope. Committing some sins.
Well, that's all of them. Hope you made a wish.
Yes, he did just shush a ghost.
Could I have another moment of your time, Mr. Puffin?
Yes, I suppose so.
It seems that all the prayer candles have gone out.
Have they? Blast! I keep saying there's a draft, but
We'll be
nobody's
distracted.
done
We can
anything
go
about
open the
it.
chest.
Excuse me for a moment, won't you?
Gonna bet it's a bunch of wigs.
Let's hope this chest hasn't got squeaky hinges.
Dearest Ned, your last letter made me giggle with delight. Cannot stop dreaming of the day we finally make our dreams come true and live together as man and wife. It would just be the most splendid idea to get a puppy. Already have begun thinking of names. How does Woofy sound? All my love. He. Also, who's Ned?
Yeah.
Will I wear wigs? Is that an actual question for me on Secret Crush? Hey, Culinary.
Will you? Will you wear wigs?
Sure, why not? I don't have any problems against it. I have worn a wig.
When will you wear the wigs?
What am I missing a reference?
I think it's up to Unsecret Crush to share it in chat.
Okay.
Could I have another moment of your time, Mr. Puffin?
Yes, I suppose so.
Yes.
Do you know anyone named Ned?
Ned? Well, yes, I do. My nephew, Ned Bunkridge.
Your nephew?
Yes, why do you ask?
Where might I find Ned? I'd like to speak with him.
Is everything all right? Ned hasn't gotten into any trouble, has he? I always tell him just because he's training his body, that's no excuse to pick fights.
No, he hasn't gotten into any trouble.
Oh, well, he lives in Lyon at 511
Interesting.
Parkside Terrace.
Right. Thank you for the information. I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
I will watch it when we go on break.
Perfect. Hey, F-Town.
Hey, F-Town. That's
Ned's residence.
Interesting icon for Ned's residence.
What is it?
It's a barbell, and I think just a weight.
Yeah.
All right,
This way,
then.
sir. Mr. Bunkridge is in his gymnasium.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, my good man.
Well, you take a look at this place, and take a look at him. Maybe you should consider doing some training yourself, Miles. You aren't getting any younger after all.
So on Secret Crush, Ned is the recipient of a love letter we found in the chest at the church.
And also Tom's nephew.
Yeah. Wow, that's
And the
our-
letter was signed P, which could be a Priscilla.
Very much could be a Priscilla.
Excuse me, Mr. Bunkridge?
Oh.
That is a large man.
Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. Your valet let me in.
Right, of course. What can I do for you?
I have
What
a
can I
few
do for
questions
you?
for you, if you'd be so kind.
Yes, all right. I could use a bit of a rest anyway.
What is that thing on the left there?
Jaw.
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Lestat?
Conan O'Brien if he lifted.
I have his portrait. Maybe you recognize him?
No, I've never seen this man before, but... Huh, how about that?
How about what?
The detail in this ferrotype is a bit fuzzy, but his facial features and hair, they vaguely resemble mine.
You know, now that he mentions it, it's true.
Oh
Lestat does bear a
no, was he
passing
just
resemblance to
murdered
this
because
fellow.
someone wanted to kill
Not quite as
Ned?
handsome, though.
He wasn't wearing his own clothes.
Yep.
So, you know nothing about the murder outside the Silent Raven 4 nights ago?
That's right. I don't even know what the Silent Raven is.
It's a bar in the Chum.
Well, that explains it. For one thing, I don't go to that part of town. A man like me sets foot in that den of ruffians, and I'll have every Tom, Dick, and Harry challenging me to a fight. Not that I couldn't take them, but I have better ways to train my body than beating thugs. Anyway, I don't drink. Dulls the mind and softens the body.
Sure.
I see. Well, just thought I'd ask.
I'm sorry I can't help you, Mr. Fordham, but I hope you solve whatever it is you're investigating. You seem like a nice enough sort.
Tell me about your uncle.
You know Tom?
I've met him, yes. He's the one who told me where you lived.
Oh, right. Well, my uncle is an interesting man.
Is that an interesting of the good or bad variety?
I really wish he would take better care of himself is all. I have the feeling that he's on some sort of drug, although he always denies it.
What gives you that impression?
Well, most of the time he acts completely normal. He goes to work, visits with me. Sometimes we go out together to the theater or a gallery. But some days his mood changes. He goes very solitary, won't leave his house, gets short with me. One time I went to visit him, I heard him yelling along with what sounded like
Would you consider this
furniture
red
being
hair?
knocked about. It only happened once, but
I don't think
it
so.
worried me. I hope Tom isn't in any sort of trouble.
Opium is one hell of a drug. It's a good thing you never got to that point with the soporific, or Adelaide would have thrown you out much sooner.
Are you all right, Mr. Fordham?
Yes, I'm fine.
What? Too soon?
I would say this is like reddish brown. We were told bright red hair.
Yeah, so I have multiple...
I don't think this is...
Multiple questions. Number one, I'm going to read this aloud because Unsecret Crush said it. Unsecret Crush is saying, I need this man to not use the words my body and beating in the same sentence. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well, Unsecret Crush. So I'm still wondering if we get Tom to remove his very obvious wig. I can't figure out the logic of it. But if someone was trying to kill Ned, was Ronan set up? Also, why was a love letter to Ned in a chest behind Tom?
Yeah.
Hello, Just Chillin'. No, this is Ned.
Yeah,
not
this is
Tom.
Ned. And he's boxing a robot. That's why
Yes.
he's topless.
Yep.
Did you give me Tom's address?
You don't have it? I thought you said you'd spoken with him.
I visited him at the cathedral.
But if he's there, why do you want his address?
Normal reasons. Just wanted to look at his things.
I have reason to believe he may be somehow involved in a murder.
That's a serious accusation, Mr. Fordham. What proof do you have?
Nothing concrete just yet, which is why I'd like to investigate his home.
Well, you're not the police, so I'm not obligated to tell you. I'm
You're not obligated
but
to
you
tell the
need
police
more than
either.
Just a suspicion to convince me.
Okay. That's interesting. I'm not going to say I just wanted to look at his things.
On second thought, never mind. Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Yes, it most certainly does. My lady love is named Priscilla Poundstone.
A good name.
What can you tell me about her?
Oh, she's a darling. I love her very much. Such a kind and gentle soul she is, too. Loves animals, especially dogs. We've been together for ages and are due to be married soon.
Also, like, this is the most normal dude that we've met in this entire game.
She doesn't live in New Britannia. She attends Miss Threadneedle's Academy for Young Ladies in Cormorant.
She lives in New Holland?
That's right. I've never actually met Priscilla face to face. We communicate exclusively through correspondence.
No.
How did you two get involved?
Her father and mine were old military friends. They decided between them that their children would be engaged.
And you're both in agreement?
Yes. I admit at first I was a bit hesitant, but we share many of the same interests. The distance between us
Look, I
is
respect
not a
that.
detriment
I'm
to
evidence
our
of
love.
that.
I wonder how that will change once they actually begin cohabiting.
So you correspond regularly with Priscilla?
That's right. At least one letter a week. My uncle does me the kindness of acting as courier.
Do you think I might have a look at one of those letters?
What for? They're private correspondence.
I understand, but I feel this is important. Perhaps you could show me one that isn't too personal.
Yes, I suppose that would be all right. In fact, I think there's a recent one on the shelf there. That's not too private. But you won't need to take it, will you?
Not at all. I just want to have a look. You're very into physical conditioning, aren't you?
Oh, you noticed. Yes, I believe that a healthy body is just as important as a healthy mind, if not more so.
Well, he's definitely prioritizing the former.
It's important to keep fit, especially at a job like mine where I'm in a chair most of the day.
What job is that?
I'm a clerk at the Bank of Vespuccia. But someday, I hope to leave and teach others about the health benefits of regular exercise.
Again, so far this is the most normal, like, non-suspicious dude we've met this entire game.
How do you feel about the election outcome?
I'm disappointed. Well, Atwood may not have been the greatest PM, but he was pro-steam tech. Sure, the Lygia incident was a tragedy, but people are too quick to judge. Steam technology is a boon to mankind. It's already enriched my life considerably. It's a shame that progress is going to be held back because of one isolated occurrence.
Thanks for your time.
Not a problem.
Where's that letter on the shelf?
Yeah. Huh.
That is
very
completely
different
writing.
Yeah. My dearest Ned, I was so happy to receive your last letter. Things here are going well. Due to begin my next course within the week. How are things with you? Did you manage to set up the gymnasium you were talking about? You'll have to send me a pharaoh type, your new physique.
Wait just a minute. Something's off here.
Yeah.
The handwriting in this letter is different to the one we found before. There's something strange going on with this Priscilla.
Could I ask you a few more questions, Mr. Bunkeridge?
All right, but try not to take too long. Don't want to drop my heart rate too much.
About your uncle's address?
What?
Suspect there might be some, yeah.
I think there's something going on between him and Priscilla.
Something going on? What do you mean?
I found a letter addressed to you from her at the cathedral, and the handwriting is different to the letter you have here.
He has one of her letters? Why would he?
I'm not sure, which is why I'd like to search his home and find out more.
If he's going behind my back, I swear I'll...
Calm yourself, Mr. Bunkeridge. If I find anything, you'll be the first to know.
All right. Tom lives at 117 Gimlet Terrace in Worcester.
Hey, practically neighbors.
Here, I've got a spare key. If you find anything about him and Priscilla, you'll tell me, won't you?
Yeah, sure.
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Bunkeridge.
Also, I didn't mention it before, but I really love their way of
problem.
showing lighting. Like that little side glow.
Mm-hmm.
Very interested to understand how this relates to the case.
Yeah, like, I feel like at this point it sounds like someone wanted to kill Ned for reasons related to Priscilla. Right?
Maybe. At least someone wanted to kill Ned.
Yeah. And I can't remember the full information we got about someone shouting Priscilla outside the Raven.
So Darius heard someone say Priscilla after the shot.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Priscilla has never seen Ned in person.
Right.
And they have an arranged marriage.
Right.
And Ned looks a whole heck of a lot like Ronan.
Right.
What did our letter say? Do I not have the letter anymore? Ah, here.
Woofy.
Woofy. Terminator 2. How's Woofy? Woofy's fine. Your dog is dead. Are we gonna run into Addie?
Nice place. Tidy. Nothing incriminating that I can see.
People rarely leave anything incriminating out in the open. It's time to have a look around.
That's odd.
There
are some scratches on the floor next to that statue.
He's been moving the statue.
Yeah.
How about that? Looks like we found Singing Tom's buried treasure.
Let's just see what we have here.
Dearest Priscilla. Oh no. Oh no. I've completed all my plans and will soon come to visit you in Cormorant. Please remember that life in New Britannia is hard, and I might look a bit more advanced in years than you might expect. Oh no.
Interesting stuff, but what about the box itself? It seems Puffin's gun has gone missing. He should really take better care of his things. Jenkins and Bowen. The name shares the initials that were on the murder weapon. That's quite a coincidence, wouldn't you say?
I would if I believed in coincidences. It's empty.
Huh. I was wondering when he was going to show up. Puffin's daily planner.
We're not sure yet, Pedra. We actually aren't sure that the voice in his head is real.
Music books. Clearly Puffin has never touched them. Puffin's music room is a bit lacking in comparison to the one in the painting. No point wasting time searching Puffin's bedroom. I have a feeling that if there's something to find...
It's a bit of a stretch game, but okay, I appreciate it.
So Puffin plays at home too? His poor neighbors.
The only thing we're going to find
Puffin's
here.
music room is a bit lacking in... The look in her eye tells me she's probably hiding something. That's odd. Nothing else in there.
Yep. Huh.
Look at that. You click on the book, right? On the coffee table?
That was the thing that we brought over there. Oh, yes. Yeah, sorry. The one that's in the center. Yeah, I did, but I will click it again for you.
Puffin's daily planner.
Oh,
the man leads an even more boring life than you.
So now do we go confront Puffin or do we go tell Ned?
It definitely feels like we're missing things still.
Yeah.
But where's the best place to get what we're missing? Like, at this point, Ned clearly had the murder weapon.
No, Puffin did.
Or, yeah, sorry.
Tom did.
Yeah, Tom, not Ned. So... Oh, right, of course. Tom was trying to kill Ned.
I think so.
Because he wants to replace him, basically.
Yeah. That actually would make a lot of sense. Let's go tell Ned.
But, okay, here's the weird thing, though. Ned told us that he doesn't go to that bar ever. So why would Tom go there looking for him?
what if Tom didn't go there looking for him, and the letter that he sent to Priscilla was to meet him there, and so he freaked out because he thought Ned was going to see him hitting on Priscilla?
He hasn't got anything.
Could be.
But then why was Ronan not in his own clothes?
Yeah, that's weird too.
Let's go ask his sister some questions.
Yeah, and there was also a place where he doesn't normally go to.
Yeah.
Where Ronan doesn't normally go to.
Questions, Mrs. Morgan.
Yes, of course.
Very strange. Jimbo.
Are you familiar with someone who goes by the name Jimbo?
No, I don't think so. Who is that?
A friend of Ronan's.
No, as I told you, I didn't know Ronan to have any friends. I especially don't recall him mentioning anyone called Jimbo.
Did Ronan know anyone named Priscilla?
Priscilla? No, I never heard that name before. Who is she?
Just a name that's come up in my investigation.
I wonder if Ronan had finally met a young woman.
Oh, boy. Now you've
No,
done
but
it.
he had found
Those are all
love.
the questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Yeah, the bulletin is an interesting thought. Oh, we can update the bulletin. He has bright red hair under the hat.
Can we go just sneak up behind Tom and pull his wig off?
There was a newspaper.
Oh, how did we miss that?
Hart Leroy, this would have explained a lot early on. Hart Leroy continues election celebration. After beating Herbert Atwood in a stunning upset, Hart Leroy has continued his victory tour, yesterday visiting the Thorbum Ironworks in Chomley. Cholmondeley. Workers cheered as the Prime Minister-elect gave a rousing speech in which he outlined his plans upon taking office next month. Whoops. Your jobs are safe. Your livelihoods are safe. Steam Tech will not replace you. Leroy repeated several times throughout his address, to thunderous applause. Leroy defeated Atwood with a stunning landslide, 73% of the vote.
Wow, that almost sounds suspicious, doesn't it?
Yeah. Most voters cited his stance on preserving jobs and shunning steam technology as the deciding factor. Leroy's first order of business was resuming construction of the Gascon. I can't even remember how to pronounce it yet. Gascon, right?
Gascon?
Yeah, Gascon Chumley Bridge.
Gascon Chumley Bridge.
Creating several jobs. The Justice Killer. Latest victim of the serial murderer is... Oh, they're just calling it a serial murderer now. Early cause. In Chumley. Cause was discovered with the apartment, killed by a single gunshot wound to the head. His neighbor, Ethel Williamson, reported a domestic dispute when she heard the gunshot. Like Daddy Gassy, yes. No, that's Gascoigne, but yes. For those that are watching this VOD and have no idea what I'm talking about, good friend and fantastic streamer Nina Marie went through Bloodborne and tends to name the bosses in a way that she could remember. And so Father Gascoigne became Daddy Gassy.
Got it.
Anyway, alright. Police arrived at the scene, found cause, along with the word justice written in blood on the wall of his parlor. The Gazette has learned that each of the men found murdered previously in Chumley were found in the exact same situation. Contradicting the police's previous statements that the murders were unrelated. Due to the murderer's unusual display at each crime scene, he's earned the name Justice Killer. As of this writing, there's been no established link between the victims. More on this story as it develops. Final case, you think?
Maybe. Like, it definitely seems like it's a, thing that's happening throughout here.
Or potentially related to, like, Bill's murder?
Do you want me to take the next two?
Yes, please.
Class action suit filed against Royal Maverick. The law firm of Usher and Price announces that a class action lawsuit has been filed against Royal Maverick on behalf of those killed in Foster Park during the... God, every time I see this word, I cannot remember.
It was Ligeia, yeah.
Ligeia?
Yep.
Disaster in June of this year. Those who lost family members on June 24th, 1844 as a direct result of the airship Ligeia crashing into Foster Park are encouraged to contact the law firm at 72 Cadman Street in Worcester. Royal Maverick operates several transportation services, most notably transatlantic airship services, starting with the HMS Ligeia. The HMS Lenore, the Ligeia's sister ship, is nearing completion. Usher and Price are alleging gross negligence on Royal Maverick's part due to their lack of proper maintenance, which resulted in the disaster, causing 54 deaths on the ground in addition to the 300 passengers on board. Jonas Usher claims, continued on page 13. Grand Dame's bizarre death ruled a murder. After a full investigation by the New Britannia police, the death of Gascon Grand Dame Desiree Lathan has been ruled a murder. Chief of Police Reginald Snelling issued the following statement. Foul play was initially suspected, and our detectives determined that this was indeed the case. A suspect has been arrested and is awaiting trial. The suspect in question is Roger DeVay, an art professor at the University of New Britannia. DeVay was recently named Miss Lathan's beneficiary, a fact which concerned detectives on the case. DeVay allegedly left rags soaked in linseed oil underneath Lathan's bed. After several days, the oil caught fire, burning Miss Lathan alive as she slept. According to Snelling, the scene was intended to appear accidental, but thanks to the brilliant work of our finest detectives, the sordid truth was revealed.
Oh, thanks for calling me your finest detective, Snelling. We did start late. Is now a good time for a break?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for those watching the VOD, I'm going to stop this here, and we'll take like a 10-minute break. I have to go run to the front yard and turn on the sprinkler. And we'll be back in 10-ish minutes. I'm probably also going to get more pizza.
Ooh, nice.
If you're watching this live, stick around. If you're watching the VOD, please come back anytime. Watch anything else on the channel, and be safe and be kind to one another. Bye-bye!